Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to give you guys a tour of the areas I plan on gardening, and also I have a to-do list of to check on my winter sowing jugs, and also to finish the vegetable garden area that I started a couple months ago. So back here is my garden area I started last summer, and this is using the no-dig method. This area has a lot of rock, so that's why I chose to use a no-dig method. And I have a couple areas that I didn't finish, like right over here. I have to finish that this summer, and basically using kind of like the lasagna method. The other beds that I created over here, I just used compost with peat moss on top and compost, and did that over and over until I got the depth I liked. Experimenting with using floating row covers to garden over the winter, and here is my turnip bed, and I'm just going to check on them and see if there's any ready to harvest. There's a few small ones. Need to wait maybe a couple more weeks. They definitely take a little longer to mature during the winter time. They're growing. And here I grew some carrots, and they're really tiny. But definitely not ready. Under this floating row cover, I have purple sprouting broccoli. Take a peek. And they have stayed pretty small. They probably won't pick up until later in the spring. And I love to use floating row covers. They're a little expensive. I got mine from off Amazon for about $20. I love to use it because it's lightweight. You really don't have to prop it up. But I did this to kind of keep it secure, because I like to use rocks to keep it from flying away. But it lets sunlight and rain and air to go right through the fabric, so you don't only have to take it off to harvest. Over here I grew fava beans, which did fairly well up until frost came. I did not get anything from it, so I started way too late in the fall. I'll know to start earlier this year. And over here I have celery, and I think it's collards. So this is the collards that I grew, and it looks pretty weak right now because we've been hit with frost. Winter is definitely here now. And the celery too. I'd picked some earlier, and they're doing okay. They're definitely not going to be as big as the grocery store, but got new growth here, but they're doing quite well under the fleece. And in this bed I really don't have anything but a few garlic planted. But I just put the garden fleece here to keep the squirrels from digging in my yard. But over here I have these piles of leaves that I got from a neighbor, and I plan on mulching the leaves and using it to mulch all the beds that I clear out here. And this one's pretty much the same thing. I have basically just garlic growing. And on this one I have lettuce, and I think collards or kale. Here, let's see. Some baby lettuce and some garlic as well. And I had picked the big leaves off last weekend, I think. Last weekend I didn't have any sprouts, and then during the week we had a warm spell, and you have, here I have spinach, collards, sweet peas, the kind that flowers, not for eating, and little gem lettuce. So these are cool season plants, so it's okay that it's sprouted now. We're supposed to get snow early like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We're not expecting a lot, and I'm completely fine with that since these are cool season plants. I'll leave them where they are. I did move them into a spot that gets more like part sun, and they will be safe in their little greenhouses until the weather warms up a little bit more and warm weather is more consistent, and I'll plant them out. And if the warm weather is still inconsistent, then I'll use some floating row covers to when I plant them out to protect them. And over here in my side garden is the vegetable garden area I plan to continue to finish today. And basically when you're creating a new bed, you want to think about how much sunlight the area receives, because that will definitely determine what kind of plants you can grow. And this area gets about 6+ hours. And then the soil type. My soil in ground is clay, red clay, and I plan on amending it using compost and leaves, and then drainage, making sure that the area doesn't have standing water. So I'm going to go ahead and finish 2 more little strips. These are about 4 feet wide, 10 feet long, and I decided to make 4 strips rather than a big large rectangle, so that I don't have to worry about walking on the garden areas, which will compact the soil if you do, and make it really difficult for the root system of your plants to spread out, and you'll end up with spindly, small, weak plants. Here is the finished dug up bed, where you can see I just removed the top layer of the soil to remove all the weeds and grass, and then here after removing the top layer, I put in a nice thick layer of leaves. So I'm going to finish up the other one and put leaves down, and then leave these beds to rest until it's time to plant. Thank you guys so much for watching. In the next videos I hope to show more work in the garden by finishing the 2 beds that I started last year, cleaning up some things I started during the fall, that I need to clean up the beds and lay down some new compost and mulch for next growing season, and also provide more updates on my winter sowing jugs, and probably more so winter sowing up until spring. Right. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.